So we have had a dramatic start in the first game of the Asia Cup 2022. Afghanistan have bowled out Sri Lanka for 105.
I remember the same Sri Lanka who a lot of us thought would be dark horses. Well, they've been trumped by an even darker horse in Afghanistan. What a performance!
What a performance. I mean, indeed, if you have to look at it, the first over itself set the tone for what was going to be a very, very volatile clash. Fazal Haq Farooqi bowled with absolute brilliance. What pace of the deck, what swing.
Pace that second wicket.
Yeah,
Just the way it
swung way
my
back
God.
in. And so, 2 wickets down for 3 runs in the first over itself, and Sri Lanka never ever recovered.
Yeah.
Bhanuka Rajapaksa shown with 38. But Sri Lanka would have been bowled out for their lowest ever T20I score had it not been for Chamika Karunaratne's aggressive blitz towards the end. His 30 plus score ensured that Sri Lanka at least crossed 100.
Yeah.
105. And if
Although I don't see that as being anything close to a winning target, to be perfectly honest.
Yes, unfortunately, the lowest total that Sri Lanka have ever defended in their T20I history was 119 against New Zealand in the World T20 in Chittagong. That, I feel, is not happening because, yet again, if you have to look at the Sri Lanka's opening bowlers, they haven't played a single T20I. They are both making their debuts today.
Pathirana and
Madhushan, Pramod Madhushan.
Right.
Pramod Madhushan, remember, came in for this guy who was left out. Dushmant Chamira, he suffered an injury and that's why he had to miss the Asia Cup.
Yeah, but I think the key here will be Tikshana in that power play.
Tikshana and Vanindu Hasaranga.
Of course, the champion.
Yeah, and what was Sri Lanka doing? Interesting question, Shikhar Meena. What was Sri Lanka doing? I think they were just committing harakiri. Why? 2 consecutive runouts. Who has that in today's day and age? And there was one more question. Will toss impact game tomorrow as well? Shravanti?
I don't think today was about as much as the toss as it was about Sri Lanka playing poorly.
Yes.
I don't think it was a bad track by any stretch of the imagination. But I mean, they just lost 2 wickets and they never really recovered.
Yes, bad batting, but of course, one very, very bad decision went against Pathum Nissanka. Clear, there was no edge. There was a spike, but the third umpire spotted it as a murmur. And so he gave Pathum Nissanka out.
Very unfortunate decision.
Chris Silverwood was absolutely fuming
Yeah.
when that decision happened. He just was like about to explode. But unfortunately, that's how the game goes. Madana Gopal, the third umpire, really has to answer a lot of questions for that.
Yeah, and as you know, Animesh Kumar points out an interesting thing. He's saying that the ball swung early, same as the T20 World Cup.
Yes.
So, in that sense, it would be interesting to see. I think the key with these tracks will be negotiate the first 2-3 overs.
Yep. Even Harbhajan Singh, in an exclusive to Sports Today, that he said the first 6-7 overs is going to be very, very crucial. And today, Afghanistan's bowling effort was even more sensational for a simple reason. Rashid did not pick up a single wicket.
Yeah, I think to be fair, the Sri Lankans just looked to bat out Rashid, but in doing so, they underestimated severely the rest of the batting lineup.
Yeah.
The bowling lineup, sorry.
And for everybody wondering why there is so much of activity around, Shane is focusing on his favorite club, Chelsea, who are
There's
somehow...
a match going on here and there's a live going on there, so it's all a lot of chaos. The sports team is just in overdrive mode, as you can imagine.
Yes.
Cricket today, Formula 1 today, football today, cricket tomorrow, India, Pakistan. Oh my God.
And Shane has got this strange superstition that unless Chelsea don't win, he will keep on standing. And he's been standing.
I've been standing for the past 20 minutes.
Yes. Akash Bharadwaj saying, why there is no favorite 4 for bowling? My pick, Boom, Rabada, Shaheen, Bolt.
Ooh,
Well, that is a discussion for another day, folks. But I think
But that's a good choice.
Good choice.
Yeah, I like his choice.
I like that choice, Akash.
A lot of left armers.
Yep. Prakash, I think Afghanistan has the best spin attack of Asia Cup, experience, economy, and wicket taking
It's
ability.
not a bad shout. I wouldn't say best, but one of the best, yes.
Yes,
One of the
Rashid,
best.
Nabi, Mujib. And remember, Rashid didn't take a single wicket but had figures of 4-0, 12-0.
Well, that means he was going into economy of 3 in a T20. Eh?
Yep.
Madness.
So Nabi and Mujib took 2 wickets apiece. Fazal Haq Farooqi was the pick of the bowlers with 3 wickets. And there were 2 runouts.
Yeah.
And that is why Sri
I
Lanka
I don't
find
agree
themselves-
with this comment. We got it from our family member Pratap Kumar. Worst pitch, another low scoring match. I don't think you could blame the pitch for this particular incident.
Bad
I
application.
think it was just Sri Lanka who didn't really bat as well as they should have.
I mean, look, Sri Lanka are actually the hosts. But they are
Technically
playing at a venue where Afghanistan has a triple the experience of them playing in Dubai. So remember this one thing, Afghanistan's bowlers have far more experience on this wicket rather than Sri Lanka. And anyway, both their bowlers are all debutants. The entire onus will be on Mahish Tikshana, and we may add in that one Hindu Hasaranga. And by the way, Chelsea
thank
fans,
God, thank God for that. Thank
so
God for
Shane
that.
can
I
stop
can breathe.
sweating. Yes, he
Yeah.
can breathe. Chelsea have managed to win, and Shane will be there with a separate live on the Premier League when that
When
happens.
all the matches are finished for the day, I'll be doing a wrap for you guys, so join
Yes.
us there as well.
Is there any chance of VK, Rohit, Owen, Rahul? Akash, we will do that special thing tomorrow as part of the build-up for India versus Pakistan. But for that, we'll focus on Afghanistan versus Sri Lanka. Technically, nothing much to speak about in the Sri Lanka batting, primarily because none of the, except for Chamika Karunaratne and Bhanuka Rajapaksa,
yeah.
two people with, and as I may add, great IPL experience, they have managed to drag Sri Lanka into slightly, you may say, defendable total. But for this Afghanistan batting lineup, who has
I think
experience,
they do have experience. You have Hazratullah there, you have Nabi there, who's always a wise head, even when it comes to his batting or
and then
his
you have
bowling.
the snake shot,
Yes.
Rashid.
Yeah, Mr. Rashid Khan, who's a very underrated bat.
Yes, SL playing qualifier for World Cup. What else to expect? Big boy, that is not
That's
Sri Lanka.
unfair.
That is not Sri Lanka's fault, because remember, they are ranked in a particular way, and that is why they are playing. If you have to look at it for 2019 World Cup, when they had to qualify, even the West Indies played that.
Yeah, exactly.
So any team can have a bad situation. Remember, even South Africa to play the qualifiers, because they are currently not in that automatic qualifying
Exactly.
slot.
I think 10th or 11th in the ODI ranking. So
Yes.
they would need to be playing. And remember, we had done a lot of, we had done one explainer on that. I had done a video on that where, I had said that they are actually prioritizing their new league.
Yes.
And that's why they ended up missing out on the ODI series against Australia, which was giving them points.
Yes.
Again,
Yes. So now it's on Hasaranga. Yes, I got one more comment here saying that who was that? Wait. Mohammad Taqiyuddin is like saying Hasaranga will be dangerous today because it's turning pitch. Actually, let
It
me tell
wasn't
you,
that turning
it was a skiddy deck.
Yes.
Hasaranga is good, but the actual key in this will be
I think it
Tikshana.
will be Tikshana. Yeah, agreed.
Because Tikshana will bowl in the power play, and he's a mystery spinner. He can swing in.
Yeah, he'll get it spinning both ways,
Yep.
and on skiddy track, someone who gets minimal spin but having it come on
Yes.
quickly to the batsman will be a big trouble. So I think Tikshana would be a very interesting.
Yep.
Of course, with Wanindu, we note for a fact that his
Yes.
googly which he bowls is an absolute wicket taker.
Absolutely.
But he can also be expensive.
Yes, that's the problem. 105 runs, and remember, this is a very tough group if you have to look at it in the Asia Cup, because Sri Lanka, Afghanistan, and Bangladesh. So one loss today for Sri Lanka or Afghanistan will really scupper their chance of making it to the Super 4.
And I agree with Mohammad Taqiyuddin's comments. He says that the way Fazal was bowling, Pakistan will surely miss shine. Absolutely. That was the first thought we had when we were watching.
And even Babar Azam, today in the press conference, he said that if Shaheen was in the team, it would have been a different game altogether. But unfortunately, he's not there. And India will probably be a little better off. But I think we are reading too much into left arm pace versus India, because they can actually do better. Remember, 2018, as I had said, Rohit scored runs against the likes of Mohammad Amir and Shaheen
Both,
at
correct.
this venue.
Yeah.
Just because he got in the better in the 2021 World T20, it doesn't mean that he's totally off against left arm.
An interesting comment from Shivansh Bajpai,
Yep.
where he says that Jaddu could be a threat for Park tomorrow if skiddy bowlers are benefiting. Then yes, I absolutely agree.
Yes.
You could very well see Jadeja bowl more than just his 2-3 overs. Could bowl him out if he gets a couple of wickets early. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So now we are looking at SL will use the services of Chamira, pace and swing. Your thoughts? Well, you see, Dushmanta Chamira had a very good IPL for the Lucknow Super Giants. I mean, he got rid of Kohli. If you will remember, wide ball, Kohli just steered it to backward point. That was the start of his duck sequence there.
Yeah.
But Chamira, unfortunately, has lacked a bit of consistency. And again, fitness.
That was true even in the IPL, his
Yes.
consistency. There was, remember, at one point, he was actually dropped from the side and then brought back
Brought
later on
back.
because he played a couple of games where he was very, very expensive.
Yeah,
very expensive.
but his wretched run with injuries continue. I mean, Chamira had a very career-threatening back injury which curtailed his action. He has to modify his action now. But again, here he's really. Mridul Krishna saying, looks like Afghans are new emerging powerhouses of Asia after India and Pakistan.
I would say a little soon for that, but I've been really impressed by the kind of progress that they've made over the past, I don't know, 5-6 years, you can say. They've done very well for themselves, and they do have a decent bit of talent. You will say that much. And the thing is that, because their team, despite being in its infancy, has had a lot of success, it's actually captured the imagination of the nation.
Yeah.
And because of that, they're actually investing more into like ensuring that there's a talent pool. So, maybe not now, but if in 5-10 years, it wouldn't surprise me if they're the third best nation in Asia.
I mean, look, Afghanistan did themselves no harm with their performances in the 2018 Asia Cup.
Absolutely.
They tied with India, and they were very, very unlucky to miss out on that win against Bangladesh. Had they converted some of their chances, they could have very well been in the final of that tournament.
Absolutely.
Remember, the only tied game in the history of the Asia Cup is between India and Afghanistan. So they are an emerging power, but it's again too early. What if they lose to Bangladesh? Then I think our perspective will change. Now India have Fazal Haq to be worried about. His lens were immaculate.
Yeah, but we'd have to worry about him only in the Super
4 stage.
Nikhil has an interesting question. Not that Nikhil, by the way.
Yes. Who is in Dubai?
What would be the ideal total for India in these pitches? I think honestly, last year when they got 150 odd, I did think that with early wickets that was a defendable total. It's just the openers batted through. So I think anything around the 160-70 mark would be tricky. Because again, remember, these are slow pitches. They might not get a lot of turn, but they're not very easy to score off also.
And remember one more thing. Pakistan's 2 T20I wins ever in their history have come when they have chased.
Right.
Especially the first game in Bangalore when they won for the first time. They chased. Here in in Dubai in the 2021 World T20, they won. Ricky Patel, any comment on DRS?
We did actually comment. Atrocious. Horrible decision.
Yes, absolutely. So, Abhay Pratap Singh, hopefully that happens. I'll not read out the comment. Yes. So, we will continue to do it. We will continue the hard work though, and we'll continue to bring all the updates regarding sports, regarding Formula 1, regarding
football,
Premier League, and soon there's going to be one more explainer on a very, very special development that happened on the sidelines of India-Pakistan. Dipinder Singh, look,
we hope you're right.
I hope you're right. He said, chalo bhai, India jeeto tomorrow. Yes, that is very much possible. And do some head-to-head, what was that question? 11 players, it helps us know the possibility. You have to check out the videos.
Check out the articles we've actually covered,
Yes.
Yeah, but Pakistan, by the way, is going to be a little hard to predict that playing 11 because they've been racked with a few injuries and it wouldn't surprise me if you see a little,
Yes, there is no Shaheen and on top of that, the Pakistan batting is just 4.
Yeah.
Mohammad Rizwan, Babar Azam, Asif Ali to a certain extent. And Fakhar Zaman.
And another thing you have to remember with Asif and Fakhar has been in and out of form.
Yes.
Asif Ali generally has batted lower down the order, but I think will be expected to take on more responsibility. And speaking of all that, by the way, the match has begun.
The match has begun. In the first over, 2 wickets for no loss. Sri Lanka opening with 2 debutant bowlers. One hopes Tikshana bowls so that they have a slight chance. Join us
for the post-match. We'll of course be joining you for that as well.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye. Wanaka.